Hello, everyone. Welcome to week two. So, week two, the focus is on public education and the American dream. We started talking about what that dream was of looking at the good for society, of the individual, the public group, and then specific groups in our conversation from live session number one. What you're going to look in here further is really what's expected of trying to make that dream come a reality in education for students throughout the state of California. So with that being said, you're going to hit a lot of our learning objectives for this course. But let's talk about the reading. So chapter 2 is going to talk about attendance, instruction, and assessment, talk about some litigation that went into play to talk about what's expected in attendance, the age range 6 to 18, as well as looking at education code. So education code is written by the state I like to explain it not only to adult students, but children as well. Education code is the laws for school, what's expected to be followed, sets up policies by a board of education because they reflect on that education code and say this is how we expect to see it happen when a school board determines a policy based again on an education code. Then chapter 3 is going to look at that whole idea of equity, adequacy, and school finance. You're also going to see that there's a video here, Learning Matters First to Worst. This is going to be a conversation on Prop 13 and looking at the change that was supposed to happen in school finance from Prop 13. You're also going to see in your reading court case that was Serrano versus Priest. Again, discussing how school districts were being financed early on and the changes that needed to happen there because property value in certain districts are very different than other districts. So you'll read more about that in this week. Also, while you're watching this video, please be ready. It says here in week 3 in our synchronous session or our live session number 2, you're going to discuss your view on Proposition 13 and how it's impacted your school or the district that you work for. You're being asked here, it says a 3-minute presentation. That's just trying to keep everybody understand you are going to discuss it. It isn't a direct presentation that needs slides. I can let you share slides if you need to, but also talking to administrators or others in your community are great and just saying this is what so-and-so shared. I'm looking for it to be more discussion based, but you are welcome to create slides to present. But again, nothing is being submitted. It's an oral part of our oral conversation for live session in week number 3. But again, just something to write down your notes and thoughts. There is a learning module this week that you'll look at public education and the American dream. Coincides with the title of this week and the focus of this week. So the discussion board for this week really focuses on parent choice. Part of creating that dream in education is, do we believe that parents should have the right to choose what school students go to? Do they not choose? If you look at our current Secretary of Education, she wants policy that opens up the idea of a voucher system to let parents shop for a school that they think is appropriate for children, their parents' choice for their children. Sorry for that blunder there, but letting the parent be the one to choose the proper school compared to the whole district zoning that takes place where you reside is where you go. You can also, you'll see in there, talk about Every Student Succeeding Act, where do we allow a freedom of transfer or freedom of choice to move to a school that meets a student needs. No Child Left Behind, that was one of the consequences if a school wasn't performing. There was choice. So does that choice need to be there? The idea of district transfer. So no, ultimately having you reflect on, is parent choice a good thing, a challenge for a school, and then just backing yourself on that. So that is week number 2's discussion board. Please again remember that your initial post of 250 words with a citation needs to be uploaded by Thursday of the week with your 2 responses to 2 different peers uploaded by Sunday of the week. Also by the end of this week, you have assignment number 1, which is an opinion paper. That opinion paper is really having you reflect on the question, is education helped or hindered by the legal process? You've read now chapters 1, 2, and 3 by the time you're writing this paper, getting your reflection on is it hindered, is it not hindered through the process? And again, you'll notice that no less than 4 in-text citations need to be included. that reflection using CAPE number 6. The reminder here, APA style, no abstract is required. Let me be clear on that. We already talked about the references. So I'm really, if you want to give yourself a number pace for that, 2 to 3 pages is an appropriate paper here. Going 5 or more pages might be overboard. Please remember, as always, title and reference pages don't count in that content page. And then the rubric is available for you to look at. You're scoring the position. I'm looking for factual information, not opinion-based information, but facts that support the stance that you're taking. So that's the week in a nutshell. My last reminder for you is assignment number 2 is the pair group on a case study. So I need to hear from you through an email if you've established a person, again, a pair, a person that you have arranged to be a partner with. I have received so far 4 groups or heard from 8 different individuals. I do need to hear by the end of the week through an email who your partner is, so that way I know if I need to help make connections in any way, shape, or form. As always, and I shared it in the live session as well, I'm available through a phone call to my cell phone, a text to my cell phone. My request, if you do text, is that you identify who you are, just so I know the number and the individual. And then, as always, an email too. I hope that you have a great week and enjoy the sun, depending on where you are. I know I'm looking forward hearing about no rain in the week is pretty exciting for me here in Orange County. God bless.